You are brothers. Why are you injuring each other? But the one who was injuring his neighbor pushed him away, saying, Who made you a ruler and judge over us? You do not intend to kill me as you killed the Egyptian yesterday, do you? At this remark, Moses fled and became a stranger in the land of Midian, where he fathered 2 sons. And of course, that covers a lot of territory in a little bit of time. What I would like to do is, and it's probably mission impossible, but in a way, but I would like to give a little bit more background. I feel like that and I'm certainly not denigrating the author in the lesson here, because even as it is, there's a whole lot of scripture printed in each of these lessons, more than we've seen in any one of these books, and probably will see in the books to come, for that matter. Then it says in Exodus 2, beginning in verse 15, when Pharaoh heard about this matter, he tried to kill Moses, but Moses fled from the presence of Pharaoh, settled in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. And you remember this story, I guess, all of you, and I don't want to read all this verbatim, but the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and turns out, what's this guy's name going to be? Jethro. This guy we know later, putting things together, this is going to be Jethro. Had 7 daughters, and they came to draw water and filled the troughs to water their father's flocks. Then the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. When they came to their father Reuel, now this is another name for him, but as Jethro, he said, Why have you come back so soon? They said, An Egyptian saved us from the shepherds, and what is more, he even drew water for us and watered the flock. It's interesting now to pause on that point. When they met him, when they met Moses, what they saw, what they heard was an Egyptian, right? You know, they didn't see him as somebody from an Israeli or whatever. They saw him as an Egyptian. He obviously spoke Egyptian, he looked Egyptian, dressed Egyptian, and so on. And he had, and you know, we're going to have the reuniting of him and Aaron and Miriam here, but this is going to be basically at age 80 and 83 for Moses and Aaron respectively. But that's a very big chunk of life, and about as much as most of us get. And when they really came back together. But so he said to his daughters, Where is he? And so on, brought him in. And so he wound up giving his daughter to Moses. So he had this account in this chapter 2 tells about the first son that was born. And then we see in chapter 3 about God, this sort of encounter with the angel of the Lord appearing to him in chapter 3, Exodus 3, in the burning bush, and so on. And Moses turned aside and had to see this sight. And of course, God told him, you know, you're on holy ground. And he wound up saying in